Okay, good morning. Welcome to the inaugural Plastics Recycling Show Asia. It is my utmost pleasure to welcome our guest of honor, Dr. Amy Kaur. She's the Senior Minister of State at the Ministry of Sustainability and the Environment of the Singapore government. And she will be joined by Mr. Matthew Barber, Global Events Director and the PRSA event organizer, and Ms. Melissa Tan, Chairman of the Waste Management and Recycling Association of Singapore, and Ton Emmons, President of Plastics Recyclers Europe, for the ribbon cutting ceremony. Thank you very much.
Music by Amusto. There's going to me everywhere. See, so cool. Laat het go weg. Paranoid. Yeah.
She E-Type. This minutes. It's
Good morning again. Thank you very much for the beautiful ceremony. And I'm very glad to welcome you all to the first edition of the Plastics Recycling Show Asia in the beautiful city of Singapore. I'm an associate editor at Sustainable Plastics. We are the publication behind all the plastics recycling shows. And we are very, very excited to launch the event in this region in Asia, which has so much potential for plastics recycling. 50% of the world's plastics recycling already takes place in Asia. However, only 12% of plastic is actually recycled in Asia, and in Singapore, only 4%. So there is a lot of potential for improvement. And Asia, of course, it's also a very fragmented region. It is one of the world's regions most affected by plastics pollution, but it's also home to some of the best plastics recycling rates in the world. So there is a lot of room for improvement, and there is a lot to learn from very good examples in this region. We have curated a fantastic two-day conference program, and we are excited to discuss with all of you the way forward for plastics recycling in Asia. Before we begin, we have some housekeeping points to cover as usual. And there is a conference program that you can get through the QR codes all over the show. You can also ask questions at the end of each conference, of each talk, and there will be a microphone going around that you can use for that. And please also take note of all the fire exits. And if there is some kind of alarm, please make sure you get out in time. And we'll be having a memorandum of understanding to sign at the end. But first of all, I'm very glad to introduce properly our guest of honor, Dr. Amy Kaur. As I said, she's a Minister of State and at the Ministry of Sustainability and the Environment since October 2015, when the ministry was known as the Ministry of the Environment and Water Resources. And she was appointed as the Senior Minister of State for Transport in July 2020. Prior to her current appointments, Dr. Kaur was Senior Minister of State for Health from September 2013 to July 2020. And she was also the Senior Minister of State for Manpower from September 2013 to September 2015. Her previous appointments in the Singaporean government include Senior Parliamentary Secretary for the Ministry of the Environment and Water Resources from May 26 to October 2010, and Minister of State for the Environment and Water Resources from November 2010 to May 2011. She was also the mayor of South West District in Singapore from August 24 to May 2014. Dr. Kaur was first elected as a Member of Parliament in November 21. She was re-elected for a fifth term in July 2020 and is a Member of Parliament for Hong Kong North. She holds a PhD in Management from the University of Reading in the UK. Thank you very much, Dr. Kaur.
Thank you very much for that very kind introduction. Although I must say that, when you introduced me from 2001, my age is no secret anymore. Although in Singapore, I must tell you that politicians' age are no secret, right? Because you can just Google. Well, Miss Melissa Tan, Chairman, Waste Management and Recycling Association of Singapore, or WAMRAS, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen. Very good morning to one and all, and let me welcome our guests from overseas. I hope you will have a delightful and most fruitful stay here in Singapore. I'm indeed honored to join you today for the Plastic Recycling Show Asia in Singapore, and happy to know that actually I'm attending the inaugural Plastic Recycling Show, the first here in Singapore. Let me wish the conference organizer a very successful conference as well as exhibition. Plastic has undoubtedly shaped modern industry and society, revolutionizing everything from packaging and logistics to healthcare and consumer goods. Its versatility, durability, and cost-effectiveness has brought about great convenience and contributed to mankind's development. And production has exponentially soared over the decades. But there is a cost to plastic pollution which we must address. As they say, plastic is a convenience with many consequences. Plastics, which are made from non-renewable fossil fuels, contribute to our carbon emissions when they are produced, transported, and incinerated at end of life. I say incinerated because in Singapore, all waste that can be incinerated is incinerated, so we don't landfill directly. But of course, in some countries, in fact, in many countries, waste, including plastic, is actually brought directly to the landfill. Plastic pollution, especially in the form of transboundary marine litter, is a global problem. According to OECD's 2022 Global Plastics Outlook, in just the past 2 decades, from 2000 to 2019, global plastic waste has more than doubled to reach 353 million tons annually. Yet, only about 9% is recycled. Almost 50% ends up in landfills, and nearly a quarter leaks into the environment. This means that millions of tons of plastics are ending up in our rivers and oceans each year. This is why countries are collaborating to develop an international, legally binding instrument on plastic pollution, including in the marine environment. Negotiations are ongoing, and Singapore is committed to do our part. Southeast Asia is at the center of this problem, with 6 of the world's top 10 ocean plastic polluting countries from this region. Together, the region contributes to almost 60% of ocean plastic pollution. This is a challenge we share and one that calls for a collective response. To protect our environment, we must strengthen our resolve to address the littering, wasteful use, and unnecessary disposal of plastics. In fact, one can say that plastic is not inherently the problem. What is the problem? How we produce, use, and dispose of plastic. And the problem would be indiscriminate use of plastic, particularly single-use plastics, as well as irresponsible disposal practices of plastic. In Singapore, we are acutely aware of the challenges arising from increasing waste. Our small island nation means we have limited space for waste disposal. For those of you who are here for the first time in Singapore, you will not be able to find our landfill here on the mainland in Singapore. Our only landfill, Semakau, Pulau Semakau, is projected to reach capacity by 2035 if current waste trends continue. So it is an offshore landfill. Plastic waste is one of Singapore's largest waste streams. It accounted for around 14% of all waste generated last year, and around 5% of that was recycled. So, the MC said 4%, so our numbers have gone up a little bit, 1%. Not that we are proud of it, we need to do a lot more. This is a stark reminder of the work we have ahead in capturing, processing, and reusing plastic waste within our city. To address this, we introduced the Zero Waste Master Plan in 2019, which marks a shift towards a circular economy approach that maximizes the value of resources by keeping them within a closed loop, reuse and recycle as much as possible. Through this plan, we aim to reduce waste sent to the landfill per capita per day by 30% and achieve an overall recycling rate of 70% by 2030. Under our Zero Waste Master Plan, we introduced initiatives to reduce plastic waste and encourage more sustainable habits. For example, we implemented mandatory packaging reporting for businesses to encourage them to reduce packaging and packaging waste, including plastics. The disposable carrier bag charge, which was implemented in July last year, has led to a promising shift in behavior, with supermarket operators reporting a reduction of 70 to 80% in the number of disposable carrier bags provided to customers 1 year on. The upcoming beverage container return scheme aims to increase the recycling rate of beverage containers, plastics, as well as metal cans, to foster a culture of recycling and encourage a good recycling practices. The scheme will also aggregate clean and high-quality recyclables, which can be made into new products. Of course, such ambitious national targets cannot be achieved by policy alone. Industry plays a crucial role in plastic waste reduction, and the government is dedicated to foster innovation within the recycling industry by supporting advancement in technology that make recycling more efficient and effective. We have funded pilot programs, incentivized green business practices, and supported local startups that are pushing the boundaries of sustainable innovation. Beyond government initiatives, many industries are leading the charge by integrating recycled plastics into their products and adopting closed-loop systems that reduce waste. By embedding recycled plastic as a primary material in packaging and production, we not only create a sustainable loop within industries, but also reduce the demand for resources, thus lowering our carbon footprint. In May this year, I witnessed a Memorandum of Understanding or MOU signing between Green Lab and Ninja Van Singapore to make eco-friendly packaging more accessible and cost-effective for local businesses. GreenLab supplies 100% compostable and biodegradable packaging to its customers with no minimum order quantity to reduce potential wastage. Ninja Van, on the other hand, supports with free last delivery of the products to GreenLab's customers with a fleet of electric vehicles. It is heartening that our local small-medium enterprises are working together to step up our sustainability and align with the national vision of building a more sustainable Singapore. Today, we witness another inspiring example of the start of a 3-year collaboration between the Waste Management and Recycling Association of Singapore, or WAMRAS, and the Singapore Logistics Association, SLA. This partnership, facilitated by Enterprise Singapore, brings together capabilities and shared interests of both waste management and logistics sectors to reduce packaging waste and boost circularity among logistics businesses. Under this initiative, waste materials, including plastics, will be recycled and converted into packaging products for the logistic companies. One of the key areas the partnership is looking to address is the significant quantities of stretch film and plastic wraps used in logistics. By connecting logistic firms with the local plastic treatment facilities, these materials can be processed back into resin, which can then be repurposed into new packaging. I encourage companies to leverage and be inspired by this platform as you move towards your circularity goals. Whilst these initiatives bring us a step closer to our sustainability goals, sustainable change in this sector also depends on the people who drive it. The industry's success rests on attracting talent with innovative ideas and a commitment to sustainability. Hence, led by WAMRAS and SLA, the industry is doubling down on its branding efforts to attract more talents into waste and recycling sector. The associations have embarked on the new recruitment video to showcase the lesser-known, technical, yet fascinating roles within the recycling industry. Hopefully, this will pique the interest of younger Singaporeans and encourage them to pursue a career in the industry. Indeed, we hope to draw in a new generation of skilled professionals and fresh thinkers to help expand Singapore's recycling capabilities. They can inject new ideas to further reduce plastic waste, make the recycling processes more efficient so that we can collectively work closer towards our national sustainability goals. As we embark on this journey, let us remain inspired by the progress we have made and are making. This event is a testament to the power of collaboration, innovation, and dedication. Every new idea, technological advancement, and commitment to sustainable practices brings us closer to a shared future where plastics no longer threaten our environment, but instead contribute to its regeneration. I'm indeed excited to witness the innovations and initiatives that will emerge from this event. We can set higher standards, inspire industries, and make a lasting impact, not only on the waste and recycling sector here in Singapore, but across Asia and beyond. So let me thank you for your attendance at this conference, as well as for your support. Indeed, I want to congratulate WAMRAS and SLA on this collaboration. Every time I say SLA, I cannot but remember Singapore Land Authority. That's the other acronym, but this is Singapore Logistics Association, and I'm happy, to be involved with yet another SLA. So thank you very much, and congratulations.
Thank you very much, Dr. Amy Kaur. And now I am very pleased to say that we'll have the signing of the Memorandum of Understanding, as Dr. Kaur announced. It will be between the Waste Management and Recycling Association of Singapore, represented by Ms. Melissa Tan, Chairman, and Singapore Logistics Association, represented by Ms. Gina To, First Deputy Chair.
Please. Please. Just.
Thank you very much. It is a pleasure to see such an important agreement being signed here at PRS Asia. And that's not the only agreement being signed here. We have a second one, a second memorandum of understanding between the Sankyo Singapore Private Limited, represented by Mr. Katsumi Yajima, Managing Director, and Plus Pulp Union Private Limited, represented by Ms. Azolo, Business Development Director. And as part of the initial initiatives under the first MOU that we just signed, members of both associations have formed a partnership to promote eco-friendly materials within the logistics industry. And this is the case study mentioned by Dr. Amy Kaur on the adaptation of recycled stretch film for pallet wrappings. This is an innovative solution that is gaining traction due to its potential to significantly reduce the environmental impact of warehouse operations. By decreasing reliance on virgin plastics and offering a scalable model, this collaboration illustrates how recycled materials can effectively integrate into daily logistics processes to drive sustainability. Thank you very much.
Oops. Mm-hmm. just.
Thank you very much. So that ends the signing of Memorandum of Understanding, and we will continue with the first sessions of our conference. Yeah.
All right. Mm.